Faculty of Psychology, University of Muhammadiyah Malang, applying psychology while varying humanity.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to stand before you as the master of ceremony for this event. My name is Irina Putri Saliha, and I extend my gratitude for the privilege to preside over the proceedings on this splendid morning at the University of Muhammadiyah Malang. Today, on the 26th of August 2023, we gather for the significant event, the second International Conference of Applied Psychology on Humanity. The Honorable Professor Dr. Syamsul Arifin, MSI, as Vice Rector of Academic Affairs Al-Islam Kemuhammadiyahan, University of Muhammadiyah Malang. The Honorable Dr. Fardini Sabila, MPD, as Head of the LPPI, Scientific Publication Development Institution, and Dr. Tommy Eko Saputro, Master of Science, as Secretary of the LPPI. The Honorable Muhammad Salis Yuniardi, MPSI, PhD, as Dean of the Faculty of Psychology. The Honorable all speakers, Professor Deborah Turnbull from the University of Adelaide, Australia, Association Professor Xuan Mein Wei, PhD, from the Taiwan Applied Psychology Association, Taiwan, B.B. Jayton, MBA, from World of Knowledge Connection, Vietnam, Association Professor Dr. Tulus Winar Sunu, from the University of Muhammadiyah Malang, and Dr. Wan Nurul Iza Wan Husin, from the University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Malaysia. The Honorable all lecturers of the Faculty of Psychology, University of Muhammadiyah Malang. The Honorable the representative of our co-host university, Ito Nesya Nasution, MPSI Psikolog, from Abdurrab University, Riau, Indonesia. The Honorable all participants who present here and joining us virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start this agenda by expressing our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who gives us guidance, happiness, and mercy, so we can attend and participate in this event without any obstacles. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the last messenger, the succor of humanity, and the gem of humankind. Now, let's recite Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The next agenda is reciting the Holy Quran, who will be recited by Sofian. To Sofian, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ذلكم الله ربكم لا إله إلا هو خالق كل شيء فاعبدوه وهو على كل شيء وكيل لا تدركه الأبصار وهو يدرك الأبصار وهو اللطيف الخبير قد جاءكم بصائر من ربكم فمن أبصر فلنفسه ومن عمي فعليها وما أنا عليكم بحفيظ وما أنا عليكم بحفيظ صدق الله العظيم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you to our brother Sofyan. May Allah always gives us guidance and assistance. Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin. Now, we will move on to our following agenda, which is singing Indonesia Raya. For all participants in this room, please rise for our national anthem. we will now sing Muhammadiyah's anthem, Sang Surya. For all participants in this room, you may be seated. The next agenda is the opening speech from the Dean of Faculty of Psychology. To Mr. Muhammad Salis Yuniardi, PhD, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, for the Honorable, the most handsome one, the Vice Rector one, for Academic Al-Islam and Kemuhammadian of University of Muhammadiyah Malang, Professor Samsul, the Honorable Bu Fardini as the head of LPPI and also the teams, and the Honorable all the main speakers. There are Professor Debra Turnbull from Australia, my dear brother from Taiwan, Prof. Black. I hope he is already joined now. And also specifically for Dr. Iza from Malaysia and Bibi from Vietnam. Thank you very much for your coming. And also our inspiration, one of our senior lecturers, which is Professor Tulus Winarsunu. And of course, all the participants that hopefully are in a good condition, in happy emotion. thank you very much for all your comings. Welcome to the second International Conference on Applied Psychology and Humanity. And talking about the topic of this second ICAPH conference, I think it's really interesting and also relate with our life, because as we realize in the last few decades, the increasing of technology development is so dramatic. It gives us a lot of good impact, such as make our life in most aspects easier. We can access education, we can access health easily. This is for the example. And also, as the one good impact is technology make the world is borderless, because now we can communicate, we can build relationship with people around the world easily, particularly compared to the last 10 years ago, for example. However, even though now it seems that the world is more advanced, yeah, and the number of people that educate also increase, but we still a bit something that not really good, make us sad. For example, there are still several conflicts, several wars in several parts of the world, yeah. And also, if we talk about special needs children, yeah, special need individual, they access to get equality, to get education, to get a job, the same as the other, also still need more consent. So this topic once again is related with our life, even though the technology development is increased. Yeah. And hopefully through this International Conference on Applied Psychology of Humanity, which is now the second, we can gather together today, we can share our knowledge, we can discuss, and eventually we can give more contribution to this world, to make this world more peacefully, more harmonious, and more inclusive. And of course, it's also the aim of 5.0 era, which is how to make technology not only advance in its technology, yeah, but also advance in making humanity as more welfare with the psychological, and also make the society more harmonious. That's all my speech for this morning. Hopefully you enjoy the conference once again. Thank you very much for all your participation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for the speech. May it be very useful for all of us. Let's move on to the next schedule, which is the opening speech and remark from Professor Dr. Syamsul Arifin, MSI, as Vice Rector of Student Affairs, Al-Islam Kemuhammadiyahan, University of Muhammadiyah, Malang.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning. Innal hamdalillah la haula wala quwata illa billah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh la nabiyya ba'da. Rabbis shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri. Wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amin, amma ba'du. The honorable, the excellent speakers, I would like to mention one by one. Universitas Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Malaysia, Profesor Wan Nurul Izzah Wan Hussein. Yeah, thank you for your coming here. And then from Vietnam, Bibi. Actually, if I try to pronounce by Arabic zaitun, yes, not jaitun, yeah. Bibi Jaitun. Yeah. She is from Vietnam. Thank you for your coming here. And we also have the speakers from Australia, Deborah Turnbull. She is from the University of Adelaide, Australia. And from Taiwan, Mr. Black. Yeah. His original name actually Men Woi Sun. Swen. Sun or Swen? Sun. No, Sun. No, Swen. But he have the nickname Pak Black, yeah. And we have the speakers from our home. He is one of the senior lecturer, already from Hajj. The associate professor Al-Hajj Tulus Winarsono. Yeah. Ahlan bihudurikum. And the Honorable the Dean, I think if I consider your performance, you like professor, yeah? Pak Salis, yeah? Yeah, you perform like a professor, yeah? Because of your hat, I think, yeah? And the Honorable, the head of the Scientific Publication Development Institution, yeah, Dr. Fardini, and also the secretary, Pak Mas Tony, yeah. Mas Tony, hello, Mas Tony. She is very serious, yeah, discussing with the woman, yeah. Okay. And all of the participants, thank you to the committee for inviting me, for providing me good enough time, good enough space to deliver the opening remark on behalf of the Chancellor, the University of Muhammadiyah Malang. Actually, the rector would like to attend, actually, but in the same time, the Chancellor, Professor Dr. Fauzan, has the program, the schedule in Thailand to create, to develop the collaboration between our campus with some universities out there, especially regarding with the animal science, agriculture, and forestry, and aquaculture. On behalf of the Chancellor, I would like to give the high appreciation to the Faculty of Psychology, the one of the prominent faculty, the one of the prominent department in this campus. Why I call the psychology is one of the prominent department, one of the prominent faculty. I have many reasons. I have many indicators. One, I consider about the number of the applicant every year, not only stable, but I think tend to increase every year. Maybe for these years, the number of the applicant approaching to 500 students, I think. Is correct, Pak Salis? The number, yeah. Almost to 500 students. So one again, not only stable, but tend to increase every year. I think is the number of the applicant is indicator that the psychology is the one of the prominent department, at least in the University of Muhammadiyah Malang. It is one reason why I mentioned, I call that the psychology is the one of the prominent faculty, one of the prominent department. And the second, because psychology has the good collaboration with many universities in abroad. like in Taiwan, in others, university in the abroad. And also, the Faculty of Psychology recognized by the AUNGA, and also it is fresh from the oven. Psychology already get the certification from the FIBA. It is the international accreditation located in Germany. Once again, it is fresh from the oven. And the third, because the Faculty of Psychology can keep maintain the one of the great tradition, the academic tradition, that is the implementation of the international conference that starts in the morning. So the conference, I think, the one of the indicator that psychology can develop, can maintain the one of the great tradition in academic. So once again, on behalf of the Chancellor, I would like to give the appreciation. I would like to say thank you so much to the committee, to all parties that who can work hand in hand so that the conference can implement very, very well. So once again, thank you. And to all participants, I hope can enjoy the conference. That's all my speak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much to Professor Dr. Syamsul Arifin for the speech. Next agenda will be gong ceremonial. Please, Professor Dr. Syamsul Arifin, MSc, and Mr. Muhammad Salis Yuniardi, PhD, to come forward and open the ceremony. Let's move on to the next schedule, which is certificate awarding for our co-host. We would like to invite the representatives from our co-host, Dr. Wan Nurul Iza Wan Husin from the University Pendidikan Sultan Idris Malaysia, and Ito Nesya Nasution MPSI Psikolog from Abdurrab University to come to the stage. And on behalf of the Faculty of Psychology, University of Muhammadiyah Malang, we would like to invite our General Chair, Mrs. Nikmatul Zahro, MSc PhD, to present the certificate to our co-host. The award certificate for co-hosts marks the end of our opening ceremony. Before we start the first speaker session, we will have a traditional dance performance presented by San Sekerta titled Cunduk Menur. The isosceles triangle shape of Cunduk Menur carries a profound meaning. The two lower corners represent human relationships, while the sharp top angle signifies the connection between human and God. In this enchanting dance, the cunduk is adorned with the delicate elegance of jasmine flowers. The dance's synopsis is a portrayal of woman's exceptional beauty and elegance as she transforms into the revered Sisik Malik village blossom within her community. Now, let's move forward to the main agenda, the first speaker session. This session will be moderated by Sulifan Fitriati, MA, a faculty member of psychology at the University of Muhammadiyah Malang. To Ms. Sulifan, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and welcome everyone to our speakers and also to our participants in the second International Conference of Applied Psychology on Humanity, Living Harmoniously and Inclusively in the 5.0 Era. I'm your moderator for this session. My name is Sulifan Fitriati and I'm very honored and very excited to be here in person with you all today. I would like to call on the stage to our three amazing speakers. Please come to the stage, Ms. Bibi Jaitun, MBA. To the stage, Dr. Wan Nurul Izawan Husin. And also Associate Professor Dr. Tulus Winarsunu. Hello and welcome to our speakers today, and thank you for all participants. So for our first session today, we have these three amazing speakers. We have Ms. Bibi Jaitun from World of Knowledge, and Connection Vietnam. We also have Dr. Iza from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris Malaysia, and also Dr. Tulus from Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang, Indonesia. Before we begin, I would like to give information about the rules and the flow of the session today. First, we will listen to each of these speakers' presentation one by one. I will introduce the speaker at the beginning of their presentation time. Each speaker will have about 40 minutes to present your presentation. After all speakers present their topics, we will have Q&A session for about 15 minutes. When asking, please mention your name, your affiliation, and also who the question is directed for, and also the question itself. I will remind the speakers in the last 10 minutes with a sign with this. Okay, for all participants, please be mindful of your noise level at all times. And for those who are attending online, please mute your mic. Okay, so now I think without further ado, we can start our first session with Ms. Jaitun. Okay, so Ms. Jaitun, are you ready? Okay, so Ms. Jaitun is a professional. She started her career in the HR, human resources, yes. Yeah, in the human resources. She started her career as a HR director of human resources, training and international cooperation Vietnam. She is the co-founder and CEO at World of Knowledge and Connection. She finished her bachelor's degree in communication sciences in International Islamic University, Malaysia in 2005 and completed her master's degree in finance in 2010. Her scope of expertise includes human resources and particularly in various industries and also organizations. And today she will share to us about the topic controls for filtering information in the era of renaissance of informatic science. So Ms. Jaitun, I think time is yours.
Hello. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. All respective professor, guests, students. It's my pleasure to join this event today to share about the knowledge control for filtering information in the era of the renaissance of the informatics science. Before going to the presentation, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Bibi Jaitun. Just now, the director said that it's supposed to pronounce Zaitun. Because Vietnam is colonized by China, Chinese peoples 1,000 years. After that, with the French, 100 years. And Japanese, half year. After that, America. So when they translate my name to the Vietnamese language, they put J, they don't put Z. So suppose my name is Bibi Zaitun. In the surah, what tini was Zaitun, that means olive fruit. Yeah, it's good for health. Right, that Allah create for humanity. And I was studying in Malaysia for a degree in communication. After that, I worked for Malaysian government in the energy sector. After that, I moved to work for the Singapore government for investment and the hospitality industry. After that, work for Australian government for real estate and investment. HR title is just a part of that project. Alhamdulillah, with the motivation, I further MBA in finance in US and Vietnam, because during that time the Vietnam government and the US government is not really get along well. So that is my task is to be there to further study and get two country, two government is they understand better for cooperation in the future. And next, I work for the international firm, risk management. Yeah, in the risk management field, in HR, human resource. Back to Vietnam for education field since then until now. So we move to the presentation. Next. And the content today is like we will cover like 4 parts. There's massive information. The second part is information overload, and around typo is the third one. Why we must control and filter information. And the last part is the Islamic perspective. Massive, firstly is massive information. Why we now live in the areas like seen 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and now it's like 5.0 era. Can you move next to the slide, please? During those times and my times, we don't have Google, we don't have Facebook or YouTube, AI or ChatGPT. We have encyclopedia. I think all professors went through that also. And we have to bought that CD rooms. We don't have internet, and we have to access that resources when we want to do research, information from history, math, physics, psychology, communication, all the topic there. But the storage of information is large like now. And after that, we move is the developments like the Google, YouTube, AI, and ChatGPT. That is the mass information. Sometimes the student, they do research the information, and they don't know which one they refer to. Yeah, too much overload. Yeah. So how, when you receive the information overload, how to process it? That's the most important. Next slide. So according to the Cambridge Dictionary, information overload is a situation in which you receive too much information at the one time and cannot think it in a clear way. Or in other words, the information overload can be defined as when people or machine input knowledge too large at the one time. They don't know what is authentic or unauthentic in order to process them. Do you think is right? Even us is like we've been experienced and professor or anything when we research for the syllabus we do, we have to read a lot of things. But even us, we also is like, all information overload also. We have to classify which is the best and refer back to Islamic perspective. Yeah, that's the last I will highlight for that. This is like when I part-time coordinate with the Price Copper House consultant and Ernst & Young. It's like all these sectors covers almost it's like I working in that on the sectors industry and provide the consultation to the international firms, not only in Vietnam but overseas around the world. Yeah. This is sectors like when we give one time for the student when they want to be in the what position or what career development. One time, I think it's like how many years? for the career talk. They have to go to training like 1 week or something, but they cannot observe on this one. It's too much. This just summarize for this. They cannot observe for 1 week. So have to divide. It's like 3 months or 4 months for one sector. At least they understand very well and decide which career development they go with. Just first is like energy sector. And from energy sector, they have to divide for industry group, industry and the sub-industry. Not just the sector, I go straight to industry. Yeah, that is how the S&P, they define for all this type of the field in the finance or around the world. What the job you want to apply, this is all the sector. Is match with you or not? Yeah. Okay, move on, please. The next sector is materials. I think materials is like nowadays or before, especially in US, UK, they target for the materials a lot. They do research, they did research and continuous to do that with the formula is not in the food and beverage, but all the industry. Do you think that this make our life better? Easier, but I don't think it's make our life better. Sometimes it's worse, you know, when you not like dig into that thing is like we are using. The next sector is like the consumer discretionary is mean like a lot of like home applicants. Yeah, they develop from the petroleums, from energy. They take that resources and then they produce for car or home applicants. I think it's just is for the brief information from what is like I used to like consult for the international firms and Vietnam based in Vietnam and overseas. Of course, casino and gambling is like not incorrect in the Islamic law, so it just is for a part of that. And next is healthcare. Everyone is like love to talk about healthcare, but how to maintain a good healthcare is that's most important. So healthcare also is like this industry is like make for the government or for that firm earn a lot of money for that industry. Yes, healthcare. Move to next, please. Finance. Finance is like, maybe I love figure, so I love finance. That's my further master in finance. High school is like my target finance. But I don't know, it's like how is like I end up with the degree in communication. Yeah, but never give up to further master in finance. Finance is good for all of us, not for people in finance in a sector. Is the husband or wife, you have to manage the finance for the family, yeah, for yourself. That is the basic one. But it's further industry is like for investment, how to return on investment when you do something for that project. Yeah. IT. Before that, we don't have IT industry, yeah, sector. Even IT faculty we don't have, right? IT just previous time, my time, just like computer is very big computer, heavy, and very costly. Yeah, if I don't mistake, it's around like 1,000 USD. If you want to purchase the computer last time, not everyone can have computer at home. Yeah. And when talked about the IT, we have the front end and back end. Front end is the one deal with the internet or just a networking. But back end, the one is like do computer writer, develop the program. That one need a lot of like intellectual and the intelligence of that person. Next is communication services. Communication services play a role very important in the political science or in the politics sector. Yeah, they portray is good or bad, is that communication service sector play that role. I just talk about the secularism knowledge first, and in the Islamic perspective, I will analyze more details what is this sector is about. So it's like those who work in the communications services sector have to be careful, have to say that. When you send a message to the audience, to the world, have to be authentic, true or not. Yeah, it's not because it's sensitive for a political party and you, in order for election, that's also a problem. Yeah. Next is the sector utilities. Utilities is like after the energy, people also think about how to utilize for that resources to do for the utility sectors. What we are using right now also, okay? The power. Oh, real estate. Real estate is like, now it's new from the land allotted for us. It's like how we build a home for people. Not only for poor people, but it's like for rich people if they have money. They want to buy a penthouse, luxury houses, villas or something. We can provide for that in the real estate. But it depends on the policy of the government. In which country they offer to the buyer. Yeah, this is also good investment in this sector. Okay, that is the basic 11 sectors when I used to advise and consult for international firm with the Price Corporate House and the Ernst & Young. So how about education sector, political sectors and orders? They don't mention here, but this is how we divide and tell the students this, if you want to work in the education sector, this is the position they can offer you, or political sector also, and orders. So the part 3 is like why we must control and filter information. Why? Why we must, not why we should control. Because when the professor or teacher, they develop a syllabus, as I said, they have to collect all the material resources one time. 1,000, 100, they can read, but they will, what? Filter. Yeah. Filter is reduce the information not relevant, or that's too much, is not reach to that level, it's not matched with that level. In order for us that, otherwise your brain also like what? Overwhelmed. Yeah, it's not student, it's professor, teacher as well, you know. Yeah, student think is the professor is the best already, know everything. So their job is so easy, but it is not, yeah. Second is control and filter information. This one is very important. We receive the information, right? It's a lot of information, but how you control and filter information? Yeah, the guideline, it depends on people that have experience for building the syllabus or developing the syllabus. They have that experience and come out. This is from my experience and just a bit of theories only, but majority is like experience. First, you have to develop the mental clarity. It's been objective for you to develop what is the topic you do. Define first. Not like grab all the topic and then give the outline for the professor or teacher to go through. No, you have to choose what topic you go for. That is clarity, mental clarity and focus. Second, you have to increase the productivity by doing research, the biography of the sender, authors or writers. Why you increase the productivity? It's when you get that research, whether that sender, that authors or writers, he or she is provide that research in that book correctly or not, properly or not. You have to increase that. Yeah. And then after that, you improve the quality of decision by verifying data. It means you will choose, for example, 20 books for that assignment. You will narrow down, or 30 books assignment, narrow down like 20. Yeah. That is improve the quality of decision. It means you decide now 20 books for that assignments only. And last one is communication. After that, you have to communicate. It means you have to written down assignments very properly. Okay? Properly here means like make sure that resource you stay in the assignments or research clearly, correctly, with the academic proof, authentic proof, with your opinion, your view. That's all the secularism knowledge. So how about Islamic perspective? Do you think it's like secularism override the Islamic perspective, or Islamic perspective override the secularism knowledge? Regardless where we from, which faculty, whatever knowledge we learn from the West, from the East, from your country, Islamic knowledge perspectives always override the secularism knowledge. That's why in the Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 6, O believers, if an evildoers bring you any news, verify it, so you do not harm people unknowingly, becoming regretful for what you have done. This very powerful revelation Allah sent to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu.
Okay, thank you for the intriguing presentation, Ms. Jaitun. I think for the Q&A session, we will do it at the end after all the presentators present their topics. Okay, so for everyone who would like to ask questions for Ms. Zaitun, you can hold on to your questions until the end of the session. I think we can continue first with our second presentator, our second speaker today, Dr. Iza. Okay, hello, Dr. Iza. How are you today? Oh. Dr. Iza, are you ready? Okay, so yeah, while we wait for it, so Dr. Iza is currently working at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Malaysia, at the Department of Psychology and Counseling, and she has completed her bachelor degree in Human Sciences in Psychology in University Islam Antarbangsa, Malaysia, and also her PhD in Applied Psychology in University of Nottingham. She is involved in various research activities and also has published several publications as well. She is also very active in supervisions and consultations. I think her CV is also quite extensive. Yeah. Okay, her topic of research includes the topic on emotion, cognitive psychology, psychometrics, leadership, and also mental well-being. And today, she will share to us about the topic from Industry 4.0 to Society 5.0, increasing human productivity and enhancing psychological well-being. So, Dr. Iza, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much to our chairperson. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee of ICAPH 2 for having me here today. Okay, let me give a salutation first. My respected guest, the Dean of Faculty of Psychology, UMM, Dr. Salis. Okay, my fellow speakers, Professor Yunus, and also Madam Bibi Zaitun, presenters, lecturers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, for today, I would like to share with you a little sharing on the role of psychologists in Society 5.0 era in order to assist humans to live their life fullest, particularly to help them to increase their productivity and also enhance their psychological well-being. Okay, next. Okay, talking about the emergence of Society 5.0, I'm sure that you are familiar with the cycle of revolutions 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and then we have Industry 4.0. And the latest one, we have Society 5.0. Okay, basically, for the Society 5.0, it emphasizes on human-centered society. Okay, the emergence of the Society 5.0 comes after the Industry 5.0 era. Okay, I'm sure that you know that in this Industrial Revolution 4.0, we are highly depending on the advancement of technology. Most of our lifestyles, our behavior are influenced by the information and communication technology. Okay, so the technology has a big impact on global society and also our lives, particularly our behavior. Okay, say for example, for the past 10 years, we never had such kind of online shopping, right? Online shopping, online transportation. Okay, but nowadays, we have this kind of facilities. We have online shopping, online transportations. Okay, we also have, today, for this conference, we have online session also. Okay, say for example, whenever you feel so lazy to cook, right, or to buy meals on your working days, okay, so you can simply take your phone and order food online. Okay, so this is among the biggest impact of technology advancements in our daily lives. Okay, next. Okay, the question is to survive in this Society 5.0 era, how can we build a society that can respond actively to this advance and not just become consumers of technology? Okay, to respond to these questions, actually the government of Japan has responded to this condition by introducing its vision called Society 5.0, in which the community will apply the technology to our lives. Okay. So at this era, we, the humans, are no longer the objects of technological impacts. But the fact is that we are the subjects. We are the subjects who actively use technology to help us to live our life fullest, to use our time wisely, to do our work more efficient. Okay, so in this case, we could say that Society 5.0 has a big impact on our lives. Okay, but we cannot deny that it may have both the positive impact as well as the negative impacts. Okay, So in this case, more research should be conducted in order to identify or in order to enhance the positive impacts as well as to reduce the negative impacts. Okay, next. Okay, how to realize Society 5.0? Okay, as you can see here, being in this era, with the advancement of technology, we managed to live our life fullest because the technology has helped us to have a better life, to give us comfort, high quality of life, and also vitality. Okay, so this is an example of how Japan's mission and vision to respond to industrial progress. Okay, they are expecting that we embed human value in the Society 5.0 era. Okay, so with this era, we live our life fullest. We have technology to help us to do our house chores and also our office matters. Okay, say for example, let me give you a simple example. Say you want to cook mi ayam or bakmi ayam, and you don't know how to cook bakmi ayam. What should we do? You can simply go to the YouTube and look at the steps or the procedures to cook bakmi ayam. Okay, or else you can simply video call your mom so that your mom can guide you step by step how to cook mi ayam. Okay, so technology has a big impact on our lives. Okay, next. Okay, in the Society 5.0 era, so where is the role of psychologists? Psychology. Okay, before that, may I know how many of you are psychologists in Seoul? How many of you are psychologists or studying psychology? Psychologists. Or you call it what? Psycholog. Psycholog. Okay, psycholog. How many of you are psychologs or studying psychology? Almost no response. Okay, I could say that many, majority of you, right? Okay, so in this Society 5.0 era, where's the role of psychology? Or as a psychologist, how can we assist people to live their life fullest? Okay, so we can empower individuals and also communities. Okay, so psychology, the role is to facilitate empowerment of individuals and also society to realize a productive society to the progress of Industrial Revolution 4.0. Okay, the two main components that we can assist is to increase the productivity of the individuals and also the organizations, as well as to enhance psychological well-being or mental well-being. Okay, next. Okay, first, how to assist organizations or individuals to increase their productivity. Okay, my first point is to help them to improve their expertise and creativity. Okay, so the organizations or the employers have to accommodate for the fast-paced technological advance, and organizations are expected to depend more on employees' creativity and expertise. Okay, in this case, usually as an employee, we tend to be more motivated to work whenever we have sufficient skills or knowledge or competency. So that is the role of organizations or IO psychologists, okay, to plan so that organizations can assist the employees to improve their skills and also expertise. Okay. In this case, the organizations can provide learning opportunities or training, okay, so that the staff or the employees can improve their skills and also competency. And there's an assumption in which relaxed staff or member tend to engage more positively. Okay, so in this case, as an employer or being a manager in an organization, this is our role to help our staffs to improve their skills and also creativity. Okay, second, how to enhance productivity. Okay, in this case, we can apply positive psychology in the workplace. Okay. Basically, optimism is one of the elements of positive psychology. Okay, so the organization should increase the optimism level of their employees. Okay, why? Because optimism actually can help an individual in terms of his or her power to influence actions. Whenever we have high level of optimism, then we tend to be more motivated, more energetic to complete our works, to take actions. Okay. Meanwhile, if we have low level of optimism, then we tend to feel helpless and less motivated to complete our work efficiently. Okay. So in this case, the organizations can also help to execute more dynamic coping strategies at their work, and that employees with positive perspective reinterpret the negative occasion as an opportunity for growth and also development. Okay, next. Okay, the third point is to enhance employees' well-being. It covers all, the physical well-being, the mental well-being. Okay. In this case, that is the role of organization to prepare a very conducive workplace environments. Okay, because workplace environment plays an integral role on the employees' well-being. Okay, and thus it can enhance our employees' performance and also productivity. Okay. Providing this kind of conducive work environments can strengthen employee well-being and also prosperity from various perspectives. Okay, for example, an organization can provide sick leaves for the staff who are having medical conditions, or the organizations can provide office pantry. So whenever we feel sleepy or less energetic, then we can have a cup of coffee at our pantry office. Or you can also provide what kind of recognition for our staff achievement. For example, we might have an annual dinner or annual awards for the best staff or the best employees. Okay, this kind of conducive environments and also recognitions can enhance individuals' productivity. Okay, we go to the second point, that is how to enhance the psychological well-being or mental well-being of our society. Okay, next. Next. Okay. As a psychologist, why do we have to focus on enhancing mental well-being? Okay, listen to me. Look at this point. As you can see here, statistics revealed by the United Nations through World Health Organizations, WHO, revealed that almost 1 million, how many? 1 million people die due to suicide every year. And it is the third leading cause of death among young people. And based on all the mental illness, actually depression is in the number one, the most critical case for the mental health issues. The Nations also revealed that mental health issues are among the 10 leading causes of disability in both developed and also developing countries. And depression is ranked the third in the global burden of disease and is projected to rank first in year 2030. Okay, can you just imagine 7 years from now, in year 2030, depression will be among the biggest burden to our society. Okay, so this is the role of psychologists to as a society to enhance their mental well-being. Okay, next. Okay, so how can we assist our society to enhance their psychological well-being? Okay, actually at the global level, WHO, World Health Organizations, and also United Nations has also came out with a plan or initiatives to help our people. Okay, WHO actually has come out with mental health action plan for the WHO Southeast Asia region 2023 and to 2030. Okay, so as a psychologist, we should take this guideline in order to assist WHO to reduce the number of mental illness cases at global level. Okay, basically for this mental action plan, the Southeast Asia regions, member states of region, have initiated process to strengthen the leadership and also governance of mental health. Okay, so they have developed mental health plans, strategies, and also legislations about the mental health issues. Okay, next. Okay, the second role is psychologists should educate the society in order to empower their resilience level. Okay, this is because based on past research, past studies show that mental health literacy level is quite low, especially for Asian countries. Okay, so in this case, we should we should give the awareness to the society, okay, by conducting outreach or educational programs on the importance of taking care of mental health. Okay, so maybe, for example, if we are in the university, we can conduct any programs to educate our students about mental health. Okay, or else we can do any community works in order to assist any organizations or town councils in order to come out with educational programs. Okay, next. Okay, the third point is to establish new partnerships. Okay, remember, to empower mental well-being of our people, this is not the role of government only. Okay, so we must collaborate with other agencies. Okay, we must collaborate with other agencies in order to improve mental health outcomes. Okay, as you can see here, improving mental health outcomes depends on bold thinking, innovation, and collaboration by all partners. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, our government, through the Ministry of Health, they invite psychologists from universities in order to help them to develop modules to empower resilience, to empower mental health. Okay, so this is a good partnership actually in order to improve mental health of the society, and thus it can reduce the number of mental illness cases. Okay, in addition to this, we can also mobilize resources and expertise to improve mental health, and we can also provide a support center. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, in most of the general hospitals, we provide a one-stop center for those who have issues with mental health. Okay, next. Okay, my last slides. Okay, so in summary, what should we do as psychologists? Okay, actually, as a psychologist, our role in this era that is the era of relationships 5.0 between human technology. Okay, we have to assist the society to realize a society where people enjoy their life to the fullest, okay, with good physical well-being, social well-being, and also psychological well-being. That's all from me. Thank you so much for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Iza, for the thought-provoking presentation today. I think we can go on to our next speaker, which is Dr. Tulus. Okay, so Dr. Tulus is a lecturer in Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang. He has graduated for his bachelor's degree in psychology in Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang. And he has finished his master's and also doctoral degree in Universitas Indonesia. He is active in several researches and has published several journals and also books. And his breadth of expertise includes the industrial and organizational psychology, and he is also active in the field of special needs individuals. I think without further ado, we can continue with Dr. Tulus. His presentation will be about developing the contribution of information processing activities in forming persuasion. Say, Dr. Tulus, the time is yours.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah la hawla wa la quwata illa billah. Good morning everybody. Selamat pagi. OASMAS, Honorable Mr. Salis Yuniardi, PhD, the Dean of Psychology Faculty UMM, also Bu Dini from LPPI, Bu Daroh, the Chairman of Committee to make our agenda today successfully. Thank you, Bu Jaro. Also, all of our audience, thank you for your participation today, and honorable all presenters. I would like to share to you about one of the topic in psychology. It is still near with the information theory, especially in research in psychology, focus on how to forming the attitude or to attitude change. The theme is refer to what we know about the persuasion. So this is the popular term in psychology, persuasion. But what the persuasion? Is it the same with the information? It is something new in psychology? I think no, because it is a long time research in psychology want to explanation about how to forming persuasions. But today I would like to share to you about how to developing the contribution of information processing activities in forming persuasion for more reasons. We continue to the next slide, please. Yeah. Maybe we have experienced every day, or we also observe the other two activity in everyday life. This is the example of the persuasion in the blue color sentences. The tendency of people to follow the advice of authority figure. This is the example of the persuasion. Without to know about the clearance of the information, maybe someone tend to follow or trust to the authority persons. So authority person can influence someone without knowing the information deeply. It is maybe we can see in the our organization in society. If Mr. Dean asked to the members, maybe even though the information not clear yet, the member to do something what the Dean says. Okay, this is because the Dean has authority. It is one of the one of the example of the persuasion. The second is person tend to think that what an expert says is the truth. If you go to the doctors, you go to maybe the experts, and what he or she say is the truth because he or she is an expert in that area. Whatever he say, whatever she says, this is a persuasion. So, okay, maybe the people tend to choose to have their lunch at a restaurant with full parking lots. Maybe you, in the one occasion, go to some place and you want to find out the restaurant. Even you don't know about the quality of restaurant, you go to, you choose the restaurant. The restaurant is full in parking vehicle maybe. You didn't choose the restaurant no parking vehicle in there. This is not about the information about the quality of what is the beverage, food. It is about the amount of the car parking there, and you go to the there. So our attitudes influenced by not by information. It is by what is the training. Yeah. Okay. Once again, this one tend to be obedient to people he likes. If you are suppose want to anything, you're obedient to your spouse. Yeah. Your partner want to maybe ask to you to buy something, and you obey because you like. It is not about the information, about the message. It is about the who asks you. Okay. People tend to favor something supported by the majority over the minority. If the majority doing something and then someone follow for the majority, it is not the minority. In the elections, candidate always based on the number of survey. So it is important thing for candidate to election to show how big the supporter. It is influence the attitude of the people that persuade, to choose, to elect. Okay. But in many research, until the reasons, persuasion view occurred through only one process, that is directly caused by social influence. So this is the research based on what we call the single process model. Single, it means that only one variable that can influence the persuasion. Persuasion here, like authority, the people who we likes or liking, majority, a minority. It is a social influence. So social influence is what is the context, social context that can influence decision making, can influence attitude. So this is persuasion. But it is not enough to explanation about the persuasion with the single process model. We want more more advanced to make clear the relationship between social influence and persuasions. Okay, the next. So our question from the result of the research about the relationship between social influence and persuasion is, can attitude change due to social influence last long? Or persistence? If someone choose the restaurant because the restaurant is full of the parking area, if you go, if you in the other occasion, are you always choose that restaurant? Maybe no. So maybe we can conclude here that with the single process model, influence, social influence cannot long lasting to influence the persuasion. The second, does attitude change due to social influence occur consistently in all situations? Based on the result of the research about the persuasion, there is an inconsistency. In one situation, there is significantly effect social influence to persuasion, but in the other occasion is not. So this is a controversial finding. So we want to not only based on the single process model, but we have to find out the other models. And I would like to offer maybe the other perspective about the dual process model in how to forming attitude based on the social influence. Here, a new approach is needed to mix. This is persuasion. Yeah, a new approach is needed. What is the approach that the offering the new approach? This is dual process model. Dual process model is proposes an explanation for the possible multiple roles of social influence on persuasion by including information processing activities. So it is not enough only social influence itself correlate with the persuasion. We need more variables. So I offer the information processing activities. So what are the assumptions? Social influence has different mechanisms for determining persuasion. First, social influence can act as a simple cue when the thinking level is low. Second, social influence can have multiple roles when information processing activities are at a high thinking level. So in the single process model, clearly based on the number one assumptions, if our mind, our thinking is in low level, or there is no effort to process the information, so we maybe obey to our leader without to know deeply about what the message, what the informations. You just the trust, just obey without want to know, to elaborate more detail in information. So we choose the second. Maybe I suggest to research in the future is to add the information processing activities to maybe to become a third variable like mediators and moderators. Okay, the next. So one theory that we can use to explanation the contribute of information processing activities is the theory from the Petty and Brinell. They offer the model. The model, namely, is the elaboration likelihood model, or ELM. So, in the first effort, Petty research, he want to know why some change in attitude can last long time, while others only last a short time. And he found the result of his results. If change in attitude is caused by a condition that is fully considered, for example, after listening to a strong argument from a source, then it will bring up a persistent. So attitude can persistent if he get a fully information, know about the strong arguments, not only because of authority, not only because you love someone. What the arguments, what the reason. So this is the first finding from Petty research. Second, otherwise, if the thing and attitude occur because of only positive thinking or little thinking or there is no thinking, attitude based, example, attitude based on the first impressions. You know impressions, in the first impression. Then the resulting are temporary and then lows. So it is clearly the contribution of what Patty say about the elaboration. Elaboration is the extent of thinking about something. This is elaboration. We need more elaborate from one or more information. It is not enough only what is considered about the source, the information, but also what the content of information, what the argument. Okay. Next. To more detail about the ELM, Patty offer 4 core ideas in ELM. The first is ELM, elaboration like livelihood model, believes in the fact that change in attitude or persuasion can occur at high or low level of thinking, namely peripheral root and central root. Okay. Second, LM argued that there are specific processes of change that occur along continuum. In Patty theory, in our brain here, there is continuum from low to high. So if someone used high effort to think something, this is a high ELM, high elaboration. So if you don't think about something, it is a low continuum. Okay, like the drink in front of you. This is from the aqua. So yeah, even though you don't know about what the quality in the water, because this aqua is a good public image, and you trust about the aqua and you choose the aqua, not the others. Okay, yeah. So continuum in our mind, there is some continuum from the low up to high elaboration. Okay, it postulates how important the level thinking in behind the formation of attitudes, also behind the formation of persuasions. So the one thing that important is not only the social influence, but also the level of thinking. If you want to decide maybe one agenda, if you just look like the social influence, yeah, maybe it is not long lasting, but you have to contribute your effort to thinking, effort to process the information. When the level of thinking is low, the social influence will act as a simple cue. Because of the brand, because of the brand, you just simple thing, you buy the brand. You don't know if the brand is good or not. Yeah, because just the brand, just social influence, not because your thinking. You don't effort to thinking something. Yeah, this is a simple cue. So Mr. Dean is a simple cue. Yeah, Mr. Salis is a simple cue for the member in psychology faculty. You have to elaborate what the message from Pak Salis. It is not enough only look Pak Salis. Okay. Also the authority figure, the others. Okay. When the level of thinking is at the top, then social influence will be as argument. So argument is the important thing. Affective valence. The affective valence. You know, in cognitive psychology, there is some about the positive bias, negative bias. Yes, this is affective valence. Jadi, the valence, negative or positive, can bias in our mind because of social influence. Okay? And influence the structure of people thinking, like confidence. Confidence is a structures. Yeah, I know that what I do also the other do. So I confident with my behavior. What I wear here also wear by someone the others, or more the people wear the like me. Terus I confident with me. So confidence is because the thinking, not about the social influence. Yeah, the next. So after we talk about the ELM, elaboration like likelihood model, that important to adding in our research, if we want to more deeply explain about the relationship between social influence and persuasion. So we can discuss detail about the extent of thinking and information processing activities. Information processing activities are related to the extent of the thinking used by individual to process information in the persuasion process. Here, there are two categories of thinking level. The first, central root processing, and second, peripheral root processing. So, we have talked about the peripheral root processing. Peripheral root processing is our decision, our attitude, based just on the social influence. This is a peripheral root processing. But if we use also the information processing activities, we use the term is central root processing. So maybe the future research, the central root processing is the one of the approach that we can consider. Central root processing, individual carefully examine the strength of the reason or argument in the message. In what we say today is literate, right? Literate is central root processing. To choose where the good information, where the credible information, it is central root processing. If the argument are strong, persuasion occurs. If the argument are weak, resistance occurs. Resistance, it means that we don't want to obey. We don't want to doing something. Resistance, yeah, rejection, something like that. Persuasion resulting from the high thinking process will have stronger, so long lasting, and longer lasting consequences. This is persistent. So if you fall in love with the peripheral root processing, maybe your relationship is persistent. Yeah. If you just fall in love with the peripheral root processing, there is not persistent. Yeah. Maybe short last it short. Okay. So the all of our explanation about the opportunity to use the information processing activities in explanation the relationship between social influence and persuasion not enough only in the single process model, but we have to adding the new approach, namely dual process approach. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tulus, for the interesting presentation. I think for everyone here, to all participants, we are now into the questions and answer session. So if you do have any question, please raise your hand. And for those who are attending online, you can write in the chat room, and then we will let you know if we have chosen your questions. So I will choose probably few questions at first. And then I will, when you ask the question, please do not forget to mention your name, your affiliation, who the question is directed for, and also what the question is. And then we will go to the speakers to answer the question. So we will go one by one for each question. Okay, so for all participants who would like to ask a question, you can raise your hand or write in the chat room if you are attending online. Okay, I think the committee, if you do have a mic, can you please send the mic over to the left side? Yes, can you please raise your hand again so that the committee can see you and give the mic to the committee? Sorry, give the mic to the participant. Oh, I think there, yes.
Hello, good afternoon. So this is Abdul Majid Idris from Sudan. I'm one of students of this campus. So my question is facing to the yes, doctor from Malaysia. Yeah, so.
I'm the lucky person.
Okay. You talk about the mental health, and you mentioned a very big number of the people whom are suicide yearly. So, and you also mentioned the reasons of this issue. One of the reasons you said the depression. So I would like to know if there is other causes or other motives so that make people commit suicide, and also how do we solve this problem? Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Idris. Idris, okay.
Yeah, Idris.
All right, so Dr. Iza, maybe you can answer the question directly.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Idris from Sudan, right? Sudan.
What?
You are from Sudan?
Yes, I'm from Sudan.
Studying here?
Come again?
You are here for studying?
Yes, I'm here for studying. Okay. So in psychology department.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Idris. Okay, talking about the statistics that I have showed in my slide just now, I obtained the statistics from the WHO, World Health Organization's report. Okay, looking at the statistics, the statistics was obtained 1 million people commit suicide per year. The statistics was obtained based on the data collected from all over countries, at the global level. And then, with regards to the mental health, okay, to date, depression is the most critical issues for the mental health issues. Okay, and this info also I obtained from the WHO statistics. Okay, whenever I look at the statistics, I found that the statistics do tally or mesh with the issue in Malaysia. In Malaysia also, the situation goes the same, in which whenever we talk about mental health issues, depression is the leading statistic for the mental health issues. Okay, and then talking about mental health issues, okay, there are many factors which contribute to suicide and also mental illness. Okay, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm sure that you know, in almost every country, many people commit suicide because of many people lost their job, having no money to survive, no food to survive, and then because of that, they tend to be mentally distressed and depressed. Okay, because of that mental depressions, then it leads to the ending of their lives. Okay. And now the pandemic is almost over. Okay, so hopefully these statistics, the number of people who are having mental health issues will be reducing. Okay, so that is the role of psychologists to assist our society to empower their mental health and also resilience. Okay, let me share with you. In Malaysia, our practice is the government will invite academicians from public universities to collaborate with them to come out with a module, the module to enhance mental well-being and also resilience for a few target groups, such as module to enhance mental health for the adolescents, for the working mothers, for the employees, for the children also. Okay, so I think this is a good initiative taken by the government to enhance our psychological well-being. Okay, in addition to this kind of educational programs, if you look at the past studies, poverty is also one of the main issues which lead to the depression or mental health. Okay. Yeah, usually whenever we have a lot of money, we tend to be happier, right? Happy. Okay. Say for me, let's say tomorrow is my payday, then on that night I sleep with smiling face. Okay, because tomorrow will be my payday. But whenever I have less money in my bank, I tend to be moody, sad. Okay, so the same thing goes to other people. Whenever we are financially stable, we tend to be more happy. Okay, but whenever we are struggling to survive, struggling financially, then it may lead to mental disturbance actually. Okay. Is it clear? Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Isa. For Mr. Idris, did Dr. Isa's question, did Dr. Isa answer your questions? Okay? Okay. Okay, so maybe from Dr. Tulus or from Ms. Zaitun, you would like to add more to answer the question? Okay, we will move on to the next question. I think I saw one of the hands raised. Yeah, so please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the occasion. My name is Nata. I'm from Magister Psychology Department. I am eager to learn more about psychology in disaster setting especially. And thank you for Ms. Zaitun who explain more about not to overload ourselves with information, and sometimes I got vertigo with social media. And my question is, as disaster emergency program manager, sometimes I have to gather much information, whether from my supervisor, my partner, and also sometimes from supervisor who live in shelters. And I have to make better decision based on that information. How to gather and manage the information for fast and correct decision maker. And maybe you can explain more about the factor that I have to aware of and how to practice the gathering information and better decision. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nata. I think Ms. Zaitun can answer.
Thank you for your question. Based on your actual job right now, actual task right now, when you're the manager in that project for that topic, so many people in the team send you information. You come back what the topic, the themes you want to do first. As I said, you have to clarify a mental focus about the topic first. Regardless how thousand information your team members send. Maybe they bluff you also. Or I send you a lot of resource already, but not relevant to the topic you're going to do. That's first. Okay? Second, we work in the project is like deadline is very tight. Deadline is very tight because deadline answer your productivity, efficiency. If you cannot deliver deadline, it means, sorry, next time your boss or your head don't assign that project to you anymore. So that time, based on that, you come back, we check all the resources like authentic or not authentic from the sender, the author, the writer. And you make decision. Choose, filter the best resource. From 50 down to 40 or 30, you think is like enough? Back to your head of department or your boss or supervisor, that resource is enough or not. But when we do any task or assignments, project, the more resource you provide, the more solid that research people will appreciate for that. And you become a best author, best writer, best researcher. That's the proof. All right, that's the what I shared. That's from my practical experience in life. In the theory, just 20%. Yeah. Do I answer your question? Thank you. Sorry, I want to. That's not from yours. Just now from Dr. Lisa. I don't see the Islamic perspective in your presentation. And the doctor as well is like how, because like Indonesia and Malaysia is the Islamic country. And the advantage is that all of your guys grow up and been study in the Islamic environment, Muslim environments. And how you apply the Islamic perspective to align with the secularism knowledge for people. For example, you said stress and depression lead to the people commit suicide, especially Muslim, right? Muslim or non-Muslim? Muslim. Yeah. So how do you think, based from the psychologist expertise, to provide for the advice to the patient or your student or even the people you don't know, because that is the way you also convince and persuade the non-Muslim to know how Islam is beautiful. Yes, that's my question for that too, doctor.
Okay, so I think after answering Ms. Nata's question, Ms. Zaitun would like to ask a question for Dr. Tulus and also Dr. Iza. Maybe Dr. Tulus and Dr. Iza can take turns in answering Ms. Zaitun's question.
I will give chance to the host first lah to answer.
Fortunately, in UMM, this is our student is homogen. Yeah? Homogen, not heterogen. Not diverse in religions. Maybe non-Muslim is a minority. Maybe 5% maybe, and 95% is Muslim. So from home, our student have value about the Islam principles. So it is easier maybe in UMM comparing with in the Vietnams. So in the university here, UMM, we need that the value that bring from homes, from the family, can continually practice in the universities. So what the programs designed by UMM is, the first is religions. Is not on the face as personal business, but also the organizational business. So we have a kind of unit or a part in university that certainly handle about the Al-Islam. Also the Al-Islam and also Muhammadiyah, material about what the vision of Muhammadiyah, also designed in the curriculum. And then the environment in the university, we also, UMM also provide the necessity to what the Muslim want to do, like mosque and extra in the Also, the one important thing in UMM is even though student helps bring value Islam from their family, we also, UMM also design what we call the certain program is P2KK itu apa? P2KK itu apa? About the training, leadership and personality. But the content is almost 100% is about the Islamic and Muhammadiyah. So to make matching the value from the family to UMM value,
dihasilkan dari kualitas buku dengan properti psikometrik di bla seperti ini.
Yeah, to match the value that the student bring from their family and value that we want to do the student here, we conduct a certain program like training, leadership and personality. Like in boardings, there is a dormitory. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks, the student stay in the dormitory in the training center to get what our vision in Islamic and Muhammadiyan to make to make my vision, UMM vision, and the new student vision is the same, equal, the same. So in the end of the program that run by UMM is to make partners in surround environment of UMM, like the community in near in the campus, and then we also has like court in the tetangga kita, in the neighbor of the campus to untuk apa namanya, untuk ikut menjaga. Yeah, yes, this. So both UMM and the environment of the campus, the important agenda to make sure that the student in UMM use the Islamic value here. Thank you. I hope this is the answer.
Okay, does that answer your question, Ms. Zaitun?
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Dr. Isa.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Zaitun, for your questions. Okay, actually in Malaysia, Malays are the majority, and being a Malay is associated with being a Muslim. Okay, I could say that the Malays are Muslims. Okay, that's the point actually. Okay, actually, for us in UPSI, we are teaching what we call one subject, which is titled Psychology of Religion. Okay, and for that course, students are taught how can our religions helps us to enhance our psychological well-being. Okay, that's one point. And then currently we are developing a new course that is Islam and Psychology. Okay, with the hope that we can add an element of spiritual intelligence, okay, to our future practitioners, I mean the students, so that they can add on the value of Islam psychology or spirituality whenever they become a practitioner. Okay, but actually, in normal practice for Malaysian psychologists, usually if they are Muslims and their clients are also Muslims, they will encourage their clients to enhance their spirituality. Okay, maybe by having solat sunat, say Al-Quran, okay, because we believe that that kind of spiritual practice can help us to be more calm, more peace, and thus it can reduce level of depressions. In this case, it depends on the psychologists lah. If they are Muslim, they will propose to do Islamic religious practice. But if they are, let's say, Christians or non-Muslim, they will ask the clients to practice meditations, okay, or any other things lah, so that it can help them to be more calm.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Iza. For Ms. Zaitun, does that answers all your questions?
I'm not surprised when I saw your presentation, you stayed on the Japanese model. Because during the time I studied in Malaysia, is like I crossed by one book, is like Malaysia is the shadow of Japan. It's been the model of the Malaysian government now is they develop, it's been like copy, it's not 100%, it's just modified from the Japanese government. From my practical experience in my life, since I work, study and work, whatever I do present for any topic, of course I will state the secularism knowledge. And after that, I will prove Islamic knowledge and to convey that message to the people in that industry based on the language we speak to that people in that level. So after that, they will realize that I thought this is like from their people to develop that concept. But actually, that's originally, if you have time, come back with all research from the Quran and Hadith of Prophet Muhammad SAW, a lot of that resources from secularism, they took apart from that. That's why when I want to not challenge to Prophet Doctor, but I just want to like ask how the Islamic perspective from your expertise, your specialization should implement and tell the not only Muslim but other people from other religions know how Islam knowledge from not the secularism. Because they don't know, they think that's all from secularism. This is from my practical experience. And a lot of the people, different industry, even my student, I said, whatever I share with you, the knowledge right now, secularism, go out of the Vietnam or other country, US, Europe, UK, check with the Oxford Dictionary library there, comparative religions from all the subject or field, and come back to tell me. And majority my students came back to tell me, I didn't expect you just as a teacher, practitioner experience, share with me. Now I travel to study overseas, that's all from Islamic knowledge. Alhamdulillah, I just want to say the truth right now. So that is what I want to share.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Zaitun. So yeah, I think it's about the Islamic perspective of the knowledge that we have learned. Is that right? Yeah, okay, thank you for the discussion. I think we can continue this discussion further behind the stage, if that's okay with you. Okay, so I think we still have time, so we will continue with the questions and answer sessions from the participants. If you would like to ask a question, please raise your hand. Okay, I think we have two, but we'll go with one first.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunities. And my name is Rakani. I'm a Bachelor of Psychology from University of Muhammadiyah Malang, and I'm affiliate from Miss Yuni and Miss Nandi. So I want to ask about the application psychology in this era to Mr. Tulus. So in the I use technology
a lot, especially in social media. And I try to influence people in social media about psychology, about self-development, and self-awareness. And then before I make the content for my social media, I do research to another creator about the same with me, about the same content with me. And then I saw some of people on social media, especially in the comment section. There are a lot of people to do like self-diagnose or overuse about mental illness. And then my question is it possible to make the people to stop overuse or do a self-diagnose to their self? And then if it's possible, how we can make them to change their mind to stop overuse or do a self-diagnose. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. So I think it's directed for Dr. Tulus.
The cases in social media, there are many research about the social media. Yeah. Maybe you can browsing to the results from the research about the social media. The first, it is about the how someone use the perspective to do something. Yeah. So if in psychology we have many approach, have many theory to make explanation about the certain cases in social media. In the old theory, maybe we know well about the personality. Okay, yeah. Maybe from the personality perspectives, people tend to behave or choose certain thing more because in the inner personality. So how to treat, how to make change attitude the personality at the person. Maybe if you choose the personality perspective, yeah, you have to learn deeply about the personality. Yeah. So if maybe you get insight to go not only the personality, you could the maybe to what in psychology say about the situational approach. Yeah. Because of the mess of social media, of the numerous of social media, and almost the people take a part in the social media, especially in the maybe the youth, yeah, the younger people. So, and we know that social media need not only what the performing in the social media, but we have to also literate in social media. Literate is the same with the how do we use our thinking to make active process to to know more detail about the message in social media. But in the reality, almost the social media goer only released that the decision from the how popular the content, how popular the thing in social media, not the if it is the information in social media true or not. So the people who like in social media like TikTok maybe just share the social media without didn't know what the content, what the message. Yeah, we just share the social media. Maybe if you want to doing research about social media, it is not enough to only explicit about the amount of information, amount of the the social media core, yeah. So you have to go to maybe the personality determine the what the behave in the social media playing. So there is no one approach to solve the problem. Maybe you have to add, and it is not enough only one perspective in psychology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tulus. Maybe from Dr. Iza or from Ms. Zaitun, do you have any experience, or maybe you can share us your expertise on is it possible to stop self-diagnose in social media, and if it's possible, what are the ways? Okay, so for Ms. Ramani, does that answer your question, or do you?
It's already answered my question.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to the next question. I think I saw one more person raising their hand previously. Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dimas Agil Fahriandi from Abdurrahman University of Pekanbaru. So my question goes to Mr. Tulus. You explained about central root processing methods earlier. It is very interesting to me. So my question is there is any way or tips so that we college students could implement the central word processing method in learning or probably studying? Or giving us any activity or example in our daily lives.
Okay, thank you for the question, but I think, can you please repeat the questions, because we could not hear you very clearly, the mic was a bit far.
Okay.
Thank you.
Forgive me. So the question is there is any way or tips so that we college students could implement the central word processing method in learning or studying, or maybe giving us any activity as example from our daily lives?
Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. Maybe it is interesting if the student want to use the perspective of what I said before, the right of proposal thesis maybe, and also how to use this paradigm to explanation in the term of it is not enough to explanation explain variable based on the only one variable. So you have to use more variables. I think this because in psychology, we have to conduct research like if it is that variable influence the variable, it is not enough. It is maybe there is no answers for the method of X and Y, maybe X and Y, the relationship between X and Y. But the relationship X and Y or effect X and Y depend on the other variable. This is so depend on. So we choose the variable that can explanation when X variable influence the Y variable, and when X variable not influence to the Y variable. So maybe it is interesting to new model to write down the thesis for student. It is an application in the how to we explain more reasonable about the many variable in psychology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tulus. Would you like to elaborate on your questions for Pak Tulus?
Enough, because it's pretty
enough. Okay. Okay, thank you for the question. Do we have any more questions to ask for our speakers today? Maybe from those who are attending online, are there any questions already written in the chat room? Okay, let me check for a second. Okay, I think we can go for the last question. Maybe who would like to ask the last question for the session today? Okay, if not, I guess that marks the end of the questions and answer session. Thank you very much to our speakers and also to the participants who have asked questions and those who have listened attentively. As we are coming towards the end of our morning session today, I would like to highlight some key points taken from each speakers today. So from Ms. Jaitan's session, I think we have understood that in nowadays, the information that we can get, that we receive is fast, is many, and those information needs to be filtered out depending on what we are looking for. So I think Ms. Jaitan also stresses the point that we need to define first what we're looking for, what the topic we are searching for, so that when we filter those information, it will be aligned into our topic of research or our study. So I think that will be also the challenging part, yeah, filtering the information. And from Dr. Iza and her session, we understood that in this era, we are, with the advancements of technology, it also has shifted our daily lifestyles. So for example, if we are hungry, it will be easier today to get food from like the online applications, rather than, for example, going out and then like buy the food in person. And this also has changed the way that we perceive stress, that we understand stress and also cope with the stress. And so that we need to then make us empowered ourselves so that we are not affected negatively with the impact of technology through the help of productivity and also increasing the mental well-being. And then from Dr. Tulus and his session, we understood that persuasion itself is not one way, it's two ways or dual method. And it requires a lot of thinking, not just shallow thinking. We follow someone, or we understood that we agree with a person, and not just from the outer side, but also from the other conditions. So not only the how it looks like, but also our emotions, our values, and so on. So I think we can use this knowledge to then understand how we relate to one another. Okay, I think, would you like to add another comment, maybe Dr. Tulus, Dr. Iza, and also Ms. Jaitun for the closing? Enough? Is enough? Okay. Okay, so once again, thank you for our speakers and also to our participants who are attending here in person and also online. We would like to present the certificates for our speakers. Yeah. We would also take a picture together, so if I call your name, you could step in the front of the stage. So for Dr. Tulus, you may go to the front of the stage. And we will call forward Pak Salis to give the certificate to our speakers. Let's give applause for our speaker. Okay, thank you. And then for our next is Dr. Iza. Please stand forward to the stage. Okay, let's give applause for Dr. Iza. Okay, thank you, Dr. Iza. And for Ms. Jaitun, please stand to the front of the stage. Okay, let's give applause to Ms. Jaitun. Okay, thank you to all our speakers. Okay, thank you everyone. I think for the last part, we're going to, the speakers will stand to the front of the stage and we'll take a picture together. Is that okay? Okay, let's go stand to the front of the stage. Yes, you can hold on to the certificates. Okay, now to the Okay, I would also like to invite the Dean of Psychology and the Director of LPPI to the front of the stage to take picture together. Okay, thank you very much for our speakers and also for our participants. You may go back to the seat. Okay, I think this marks the end of our speaker session today. I will return back the mic to our Master of Ceremony, Irene. Irene, time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of our first speaker session. Before we have a break time, so gentle reminder for all of you to fill the link oral presentation displayed on the screen. The agenda after break time is oral presentation and call for paper session. So for all presenters, we would like to ask you to be ready in the room 10 minutes before to prepare for the presentation. You may check which room you are in the program book, which we already provided during registration. The break time is until 13 Western Indonesian time, or Greenwich Mean Time +7. Okay, as you see here, you can see for the oral presentation. So you will be back again based on these rooms at 13. Gentle reminder, for the second speaker session will be held after the oral presentation and call for paper session at 15:15 Western Indonesian Time or Greenwich Mean Time +7.